So I'm planning on doing a overnight canoe trip solo in Frontenac Park. It's kind of a last minute trip, so I've just sort of thrown everything together really quick, and I'm just going to throw this video up there to just sort of give an idea of everything I'm packing for the trip before I go. Uh, Really, I've done this trip once before, tandem. They say it takes 3 hours to get into the site, but it only took us about an hour and a half, so I'm figuring solo not much longer than that, in all honesty. Other than I made double portage just for the fun of the walk, to kill time. So my goal is to go as compact as possible, but still having a few conveniences. To start with my pack, I've got just a Mech brand. I think it's called a Brio. I don't think there's a name on it anywhere here. It's a 40-liter backpack. Tools-wise, I believe quite strongly that you should have at least three ways of making a fire. So I've got your traditional matches. This little $2 thing, I'll show you guys a video of it in action when I'm actually out on the trail, out paddling. It's got this little flint thing in here with some cotton on the end of it, and you just, or the metal's in there, and you just strike it against the flint here and it lights that. It was only like $2, so I figured why not get it. And the traditional fire steel. Of course, you would never go out without a Leatherman Wave. Got this pocket knife, I think it's a Gerber. Lots of paracord. I've got some modifications I want to do to my tarp, which actually I don't have laid out here. Of course, the MSR water filter, toiletry kit. Out in Frontenac Park, they've actually got outhouses that are usually well maintained, but just in case. I'm going to throw a few extra batteries in there and some memory cards, and that's where the camera is going to sit when it's not in use. You can never have too many carabiners. This saw is awesome. I got it from Mountain Equipment Co-op. It's called the Sawviver. It is absolutely awesome. Cat loves it too. I'll show it in action. There's no need to bring a hatchet or other saws. This is the only saw you need. It's awesome. Obviously, map, bug spray. I'll have sunscreen, compass. My sleep system. I have yet to try this, so this is going to be a new trial of the Hennessy hammock. We picked them up over the winter, and it's something new. We both have one, but we've yet to try it. So this will be a first try. I test set it up here in the basement, but that's just not the same. I've got one of the Mech brand styles of thermarests. My summer style old sleeping bag that I've had laying around forever. One of the creature comforts I was talking about, a camp pillow. If I run out of space in the bag, that'll be one of the first things to go. And I've got one of those UCO candle lanterns that supposedly has, I think they say 8 or 9 hours of burn time per candle. And the things you don't see here, my clothes. Really, I'm just gonna probably just bring a change of t-shirt. There's not much else. I mean, I'm not gonna be out there for over 24 hours. So there's not much else that I need to bring. One thing I could do to save some space is maybe throw the sleeping bag and the pillow and what little bit of clothing I'm bringing into a compression sack. We'll see how much room I need. The other thing you don't see here that I'm going to show you in a minute is all the food that I'm bringing. I just got a Trangia cook set and a few items of food. Like I said, I'm not going for very long, so I don't need a lot of food. Other than that, I don't think I'm missing anything to bring. And the only other thing you don't see is some Nalgene. I'll bring one or two Nalgene bottles, just for maybe one for flavored water and one for just plain water. We'll see how that goes. Next, I'm just gonna go upstairs and show you my food supply. For this one night overnight canoe trip, I'm starting mid-afternoon, so that means I don't need to have any kind of lunch on the water. I'll have had something to eat before I go on the trip, so really all I'm bringing for the paddle itself is some snacks. What I've done here is I've got some beef jerky that I already started. I put in there a couple of cheese sticks and some dehydrated peaches that I dehydrated yesterday, and it's all sealed up in there. For dinner, after I've got to the campsite, I had some leftover spaghetti sauce here. I know it's not the lightest, but I'm only going for one night, so I don't really need to conserve weight that much. And some spaghetti. Garlic bannock. I took the bannock recipe from Matty the Goose. You should definitely go watch some of his videos. And I just threw some garlic powder in that, and I've also got some garlic butter to go with it, and the oil I'll need to cook with it. And for dessert, I had a couple of brownies left over. For breakfast the next morning, I've got oatmeal, one flavored, one regular with blueberries that we also dehydrated ourselves. And I've got my morning coffee, of course, with creamer and sugar. And I've got a tea for the evening before with creamer and sugar as well. And obviously drink crystals. These snacks here should definitely last me the 2 days that I'm paddling. It's only a couple hours of paddling each day. All I need to bring is a cup and a bowl. Way more fuel than I really need, but this is the smallest fuel container I have. And I'll pull apart the stove here to show you what I've got in my small Trangia stove. Inside the small single-person size Trangia stove set, I keep in the bag a package of wet wipes just for washing up before I cook, my cutlery, flipper for the bannock, and I'll also use it to deal with the sauce if needed, although I can just use my spoon for that, a little bit of camp soap, and a pot scraper if needed, if anything really gets burned on, which I hope it won't. So really, this is all I need for the short trip. Like I said, I'm not even really going to be gone 24 hours at most. So there's the entirety of my food and cooking implements. This will be kept separate in my waist pouch or easy to access in my backpack, depending on if I end up taking a waist pack or not, for snacking on and refilling my water bottle throughout the day. And the rest will just be shoved in my pack wherever it fits. Seems kind of crude using just the Ziploc bag for the food, but all the compression sacks and stuff sacks and all that we have are much larger than I need for this trip. So that's something that we're going to have to look at getting in the future, is maybe some smaller ones of those.